Hello and welcome to the Bettendorf Public Library's Take Home Workshop. Today we will be making yarn words. So first we'll go over what you'll have in your kit, and that includes some sparkly pipe cleaners, yarn, which if you have our kit, it's super soft. So that just makes this project extra fun. You will also have a word template. We did love and peace. You are absolutely welcome to print out your own word of your choosing. So what you will supply is some scissors, and we will go ahead and get started. So first, we're going to connect the pipe cleaners. Now, I liked my pipe cleaners to be extra thick, so I actually have put two together. I'm going to connect them up the top like this. And then I'm going to twist these. Just a simple twist on down so that the two become one thicker pipe cleaner, just because I like the way that looks in our yarn words. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with my other two, the next two pipe cleaners, and then I will do it again with these. You can also do this with a singular pipe cleaner if you would like your words to be thinner. Okay, once I have those twisted together, I'm going to take my other sections and twist. And twist. Once I have my pipe cleaners in one long pipe cleaner strip, I'm gonna start wrapping the pipe cleaners with the yarn. I'm gonna start right up here at the top. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of the adhesive or glue, and I'm just gonna start that right there at the top so it gives the yarn something to hold on to. Then I'm going to begin wrapping my yarn around my pipe cleaner. Now you can take your yarn straight from the spool, or you may use your scissors to cut smaller pieces, just so it's easier to wrap around when you're working with this very long pipe cleaner that we've made. So you'll see by having the sparkly pipe cleaner wrapped with the thick yarn, it just looks really nice. And I do want my yarn to be close together, but I also want a little bit of that sparkly pipe cleaner showing. So again, that's up to your creative choice. If you want it real close together, or if you want some of the sparkly pipe cleaner showing, that's up to you. Okay, since I cut my string, I'm going to secure the end of this string with glue to my pipe cleaner. And then when I start using my next string, I'm going to make sure that I kind of double wrap that so it doesn't come loose. Oops. Just like this. Okay. Maybe I'll add a little more glue there so it doesn't pop up. All right, I'm gonna finish this. Again, I'm gonna cut my string just because it's easier for me to wrap around the pipe cleaner. And I'm gonna continue to wrap this. And as I reach the end of my string here, we'll do the same thing with the glue. Okay, press and hold that for a minute. And then I'm going to continue on through the end of my pipe cleaner. As I get toward the end, the wrapping becomes a little bit easier because the pipe cleaner is not so long anymore. Okay, I'm at the end. So I will now snip my yarn, use a tiny bit of glue to glue that to the end. Okay, now we're ready for our next step, which is to form our yarn words over our template. I'm going to start with the template word love. It's so simple, but of course has lots of meaning. Also, it's one of the more simple words to be able to go over with yarn words because all the letters are connected. So if you end up doing your own and you're looking at different scripts or fonts, you just want one that all the letters are connected without any spaces. So basically, I'm just going to use this template to form my word. The O might be a little tricky. There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can go around and go back so you almost get a little loop. And if you want to, you can even tuck that loop through. Or you can do the O by going around with the pipe cleaner. So it's kind of doubled up there, and that's okay. You're going to swing over here to the V. And I see that one of my pipe cleaners where I twisted them together is sticking out, but I can just easily twist that back together. And then I've got my E. And you'll see when I've done this, I have some spare pipe cleaner, and I'll show you an idea to do that with that in just a moment. Okay, so you can see after I remove my template, I've got my word love right there. I'm going to make a couple of slight improvements. This seemed a little long to me, so I'm just going to cut this part right here so that the tail on my E isn't huge. The other thing that sometimes when you're working with pipe cleaners is they curve really well, but sometimes they don't go exactly where you want them to go. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to glue the top of my E right where I want it. And I'm going to hold that for a moment. Okay. Other things or suggestions that you can do with this is, if you like it stationary or to stay in place, You can always glue it onto cardstock or scrapbook paper, just like that. Another fun idea is you could use it as a decoration for a gift, just like that. You can use it as wall decor or really just use your imagination for it. One last thing I want to show you is once you've finished with your word, if you have any left over, you can always make that into a shape or another letter. It's up to you. I'm going to do something really simple and just do a simple heart, just like this. I'm going to twist at the bottom, just like this. Again, if you need to use a little of your glue to make sure your yarn stays intact at the end, you certainly can. There we go. And then I'm going to snip off the very end of that pipe cleaner as well. Because I worked with the two pipe cleaners twisted together, sometimes you have to, it does take a little work to cut it, but certainly can be done. Oops, there we go. I actually think this one would look really good as a decoration for a little gift that you might give, or even on an envelope or a note or something like that. Okay, so I want to thank you for joining us today. Also, I would like you to check out more craft ideas on our website. You can go to Creative Bug and you can access that through our website with your Bettendorf Library card. And also want to thank you for joining us today for our program. And thank you to the Friends of the Bettendorf Public Library for sponsoring us. See you next time.